Carmen Bright with AFI Dallas, and I'm here with Jeffrey Goodman, and he is the filmmaker of The Last Lullaby, and he's premiering it tonight.
World
Friday,
premiering it.
March 28th. Mark your calendars. It's the world premiere of The Last Lullaby. How excited are you?
I'm very excited. Yeah, I have, I think, 150 to 200 of my closest people come into the screening.
Oh,
my parents are seeing it for the first time. 75% of my investors, I think, are seeing it for the first time tonight. My sister's coming in, cousins are coming in, friends are flying in from both coasts, and it's going to be pretty amazing to show the film for the first time to anyone in front of so many people you know so well.
So how was it that having to keep the DVDs like hidden and so forth?
It's hard.
You want to show somebody because you're so excited. How did you keep that contained?
Carefully. You know, it's hard, but you know, we shot on film, and so I knew at some point it was going to be projected on film on a big screen, and I just knew that, you know, that no matter how hard you try, you can't replicate that process with a DVD and a home entertainment system. You know, so I wanted the people to see it the right way, and it's really special to be here in Dallas and getting to do that tonight at North Park.
Well, that's got to be really exciting, especially for a project that you didn't just start last week or last year. This has been in the making for 10 years.
Yeah, I read the...
You're not very old, so...
Right. Yeah, I'm older than you think, but I read it was based on a short story. I first read the short story that's the basis of the film in 1998, and been working in some form or another to make it into a full-length film ever since.
So are you also one of the screenwriters on it?
I'm not one of the screenwriters, but I did discover the story and raised all the money for the film myself, and am the director.
So what was that process like? You know, making a film is one thing, but making a film is a business. So what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I'll tell you what, like one of the best learning experiences I ever had was I sold furniture for 4 years in Los Angeles, and then after that I sold home security systems for Brinks for almost another year. And I went back to Shreveport, Louisiana, which is my hometown, and Louisiana has been really busy since 2002 with films because the state offers these really aggressive tax incentives. And I went back to Shreveport in 2005 with the script in hand, hoping to raise money behind it. And I had just left working for Brinks. I was working for Brinks in Los Angeles, and I remember telling people, because I was just calling investors up and saying, hey, I've got this film, I would love 30 minutes to come talk to you about it. I've got this deal, I'd love to present it to you. And I remember telling my friends, I feel like I'm still working for Brinks. I mean, I was in my car all the time. I was following up with investors. It was literally the same thing. I'd meet with someone. I had about a 15-minute spiel that I'd give them, and then, you know, we'd start talking finer points, which is exactly what it was like when I was making house calls trying to sell security systems. So in one sense, it wasn't as foreign or scary as it might have been just because I had been in sales for so long. But I mean, it was a grueling process that required a lot of focus and a good amount of time, and definitely a lot of work and effort.
And here you are, AFI Dallas, premiering your film. And tell us about working with Tom Sizemore, who's the lead in this film.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, I've been a huge fan of Tom's work for a long time. One of my favorite movies of all time, in fact, is the movie Heat. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. He's amazing in it, and he's always great. And you know, the thing, you look at Tom's resume, and it's like the guy has worked with Steven Spielberg, he's worked with Oliver Stone, he's worked with Martin Scorsese, he's worked with Michael Mann, Jeffrey Goodman now, Ridley Scott, Tony Scott. I mean, the list goes on. And so, you know, it's a real honor to work with someone like that who's worked with much more seasoned filmmakers than myself and people that I highly respect and admire. And, you know, there were certain times where it's like, well, you know, this guy knows so much more about the process than I do. But, you know, at the end of the day, I guess my confidence came from the fact that I had been working on this film for so long. And really, at the end of the day, I knew that no one knew this project or this film better than I did. But, I mean, Tom was extremely committed to the film. He's amazing in it. I think it's a really unique role for him. It's an opportunity to see a softer side of him, which I'm not sure we've ever seen. It's also an opportunity to see him in a leading role, which he's more known as a character actor. So I think it's a great showcase for him, and he's tremendous in it, and he was tremendous to me. And you know, I'm very grateful and indebted to him, and learned a great deal from him. He's a real talent. I mean, I think, you know, in, you know, top 0.1% of American actors. I mean, he's an exceptional talent.
Well, tell us a little bit about his role, because you say it's a softer side of him, but yet Tom is playing a hitman in this movie. So just give us a little bit of background about
Yeah,
that
I mean,
character.
the movie's interesting in that it is, I guess, at the end of the day, a crime film or a genre film. But it's not your typical genre film because it's much more character-driven than plot-driven. And at the end of the day, it's really the story of Tom's character and Sasha Alexander's character and the relationship they forge. And it's this very slow, meditative, character-driven piece between them two, and as they get to know one another. And pretty much the whole movie just spends time with them as their relationship evolves.
So over the course of 10 years, this film that now has come to fruition, is it what you imagined it would be?
Absolutely. No, it's incredibly exciting. I'm incredibly proud of the movie. I see that, and at times, you know, even raising the money, everything, you know, you look back, I don't know if you've had moments like this in your life where you look back and you say, man, I can't believe I did that. You know, how did I have the energy or the courage or the perseverance to do that? And, you know, I look at the movie now and I'm like, wow, I did that? Right. You know, and it's really, I'm really proud of it. And I mean, I didn't do it all by myself. I had great support around me, both in terms of the actors and the crew that was surrounding me. So I'm very grateful to them as well.
Because is there some point in there where you go, wait a minute, it's 5 years, it's 7 years, I need to give this up? Obviously you didn't. And
I did actually. I did have
voice?
a moment. I did have a moment where I remember I used to keep a journal and write a lot, and I kept going, well, you know, this obviously isn't right because it's too hard and it's taking too long. And I kept writing, well, what else am I going to do? And I kept thinking and writing about my life and trying to figure it out. And I always came back to this. I mean, this is the only thing that I knew that I wanted to do, and nothing else presented itself. And I always tell people, you know, people talk so much about the importance of having a plan B and escape plan or whatever. And I tell people when I talk about my path or my career in filmmaking, I always say, you know, if you have a plan B, you're not going to make it, because at some point this is too hard, there are too many ups and downs, you're going to take that plan B. And I think for better or worse, the only reason I've been able to stick it out is because I've never had a plan B. Well,
and Plan A has brought you here to AFI Dallas. Tell us about the festival so far for you. And
it's been wonderful. I got here last night. Our world premiere, like I said, is tonight. I'm doing something a little bit unusual, I think, in that I live in Shreveport, which is 200 miles from here. And I told the festival, I said, if it's okay, I'd love to stay for the entire duration of the festival. I think most filmmakers only come in for 3 or 4 days, but I really felt like this was a great opportunity for me. We're one of 10 films in the narrative competition, so they've really given us marquee placement with the film. And I just felt like, you know what, I want to be here. I want to meet as many people as I can, tell them about the film as much as I can, and so I'm gonna be here for the whole time. And it's been great. People are amazing here. They're so warm and so accommodating.
Well, The Last Lullaby, I'm sure, is not the last film for Jeffrey Goodman. You're just getting started.
Thank you.
And thank you for visiting with us.
Thanks, Carmen. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. And good luck.
Thank you.
Great.
I appreciate it.
And the competition, too. Carmen Bright here with AFI Dallas, and we've been visiting with Jeffrey Goodman, the director and filmmaker of The
Last Lullaby.
Last Lullaby. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.